Hello and welcome. This is the Some People Reviews, and today, well, we're finally covering the last part of the 8th volume.
Yeah, which we're finally here. It's
God,
good.
say 8th, really. Volume 8.
Right.
It just felt weird saying 8th.
Fair enough.
Although we're going to keep that in anyway, so, well, see me if you're not a fan of it. And I guess that only leaves us with RONDO and Lyrical Lily, which are probably some of the best covers in this volume.
Okay, cool. So yeah, as usual, Briggsy has already listened to the tracks. I have not, so these are very fresh for me. And we've also just listened to the originals as well, so we can make that direct comparison between.
Although that's kind of a lie. If you go back to part 1, I actually deliberately not listen to one song by Abyssmere.
Yeah, but usually you've already listened to these tracks a few times at least.
Not only that, but I actually haven't done what I normally do, and that's actually like listen to the album straight from the top to bottom, which I normally do.
Ah, right.
But then I guess it's kind of gone to the point where I only really do that if it's like I don't recognize the songs.
I see. Because, yeah, you would have already at least heard the game versions as well.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, there's some familiarity there.
Although I guess we should start off with Rondo and their first song, which is Killing Me, which when we listened to the original was pretty good.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's very reminiscent of the time from when it was released back in 2004, where you kind of have this melding of genres, and as it even says here on the fandom wiki page, it is classified as alternate metal, at least the original band being Sim. So yeah, very, very reminiscent of the time, and I think Rondo is gonna absolutely smash this one.
Oh yeah, and if I remember correctly, I really like Rondo's cover of this song, but again, I don't think I've actually listened to it in a while, but if I enjoyed the original, I'm definitely going to enjoy the cover.
I think so.
And
I think so.
And if I can remember the cover well enough, it's going to be insanely good. I guess with that out of the way, actually, before we get into it, what's your feeling about it going into it?
Yeah, I think they're going to absolutely smash it. I think this one's definitely a no-brainer. It has Rondo written all over it, the original. So I think, yeah, the cover's going to be pretty damn good.
Well, I guess with that out of the way, let's get into it.
So yeah, I think it does a very good job so far. It does a thing that I think we've found with a lot of the other tracks as well, where we've had a few that kind of like takes an older song and sort of just brings it into the future. Like I think the production on the original was really good, but again, it kind of is a little bit dated for the time. Where this one definitely brings it. This 20 years later, or at least at the time of release, it would have been 19 years later. So yeah, it really does that very well. I think the only thing that I have a slight gripe with so far is actually the intelligibility of the vocal, particularly in the verse sections. With this song being primarily, and I think mostly in English with the original, and the original was very clear. You could hear, all the words being said. This one, it's a little bit harder to hear the lyrical content from the vocals. Not the entire time, but yeah, mostly just in the verses. Everything else so far is very good and really, really cool.
Oh yeah, it's definitely pretty good. And yeah, I remember it fairly well. Actually, listened to it, I was like, oh yeah, this is a bit of a banger.
Yeah.
Although it doesn't sound as good as I remember it being, but
Yeah.
it's still pretty good though.
That's fair. That's fair.
Although, as you said, yeah, I think the vocals could definitely do with some improvement, just because it feels like they kind of just drown themselves out.
I would agree, yeah. I don't know if it's everything else going on, like all the instruments, or there is a pretty big reverb being used on the vocals, which, yeah, is probably adding to that, sort of drowning it out every now and then. So, yeah, not too bad, though.
Well, I guess get back to it. There we go. Oh, okay. This is going to be probably a bit controversial, but I think the original is slightly better.
I think I would agree as well. It has a bit more character, I think, the original. And maybe it's just because of the time it was released. It kind of, yeah. I also think this one, it feels a little bit quicker. Like they've sped up the BPM to try and give the song more energy. But I think the original had more energy because it was a bit slower, particularly because like the main guitar riff, it doesn't need to, it's with this one, it's very frantic and it kind of, you don't get the full experience where, yeah, the original, it's a little bit slower and yeah, it just has a bit more of a groove to it. Where this one, it's very much a sort of big firecracker of a song where it's like...
Oh yeah, like I was kind of, well, in terms of the vibes, so I was kind of having a hard time keeping up.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair point because, yeah, I would agree.
Because I could vibe out to the original where I don't think I could vibe out to this, or if I tried to, it'd be like more like trying to keep up with the song.
Yes, for sure. I would agree. It did do a couple of really interesting things. Like, I don't think the original had in the sort of like heavier bridge section, the DJ scratching sounds. That was kind of fun. And I guess, yeah, sort of also brings it back to that sort of alternate metal, new metal realm from the late 90s, early 2000s, which was cool. Although it then also went to like a very mid-2000s R&B sort of bridge as well, which is interesting. I wasn't expecting that. And I don't think the original did that either. So it was nice to hear, yes, it's sort of like honor the original track, but then also add in a few little extra elements to kind of make it a bit different and stand out. But yeah, overall, I think I would agree with you that the original is overall just a bit better, a bit more interesting, a bit more of a vibe.
Although saying that, I'd say Killing Me would still be quite a good song anyway. Well, the Rondo cover. It just feels like it just feels short in some departments where the original really excelled in.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, cool. Well, Rondo's next song is going to be interesting.
Yes. Yeah, this one I am definitely much more interested to see what they do with it.
Was it Kanade?
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 Yeah.
Kanade? Yeah.
something like that.
Oh yeah, welcome to some idiots trying to pronounce something that they should probably stop while they're ahead.
Yes, very true. But yeah, this one originally performed by Sukuma Switch, and it has,
Well, it's been almost everywhere.
yeah, from what it says here, it's been,
Used for quite a few things.
yeah, which is interesting. I guess, yeah, we've had a couple of other songs be like one or two sort of uses, like in a video game and a show, or a movie and a show. Where this one, yeah, it seems to be more almost like a traditional song where it's sort of just, yeah, used everywhere it could be, appropriate. So yeah,
Like,
very
I think
interesting.
the only other song I can think of, and it's a good example of what we ever had, well, kind of our version of over here would be like what Tupac's California Love, where they use it every time they have a panning shot over California.
Yes.
Which
yes.
is like, I think it's done it so much that it's like, well, one, not only does it kind of hurt the original song, but also it's almost expected painting shot of California, wait for it, wait for it.
Yeah, it is very overused for sure. But I guess it's always Tupac's version. It's never, at least from what I've seen, it's never been like a cover. It's always the original version. Whereas, this one, it seems to be a song which many people have covered, and
There has to be a few covers out there of California.
I'm sure there is. It just,
No one uses it.
Yeah, in media, in movies or shows. Anyway.
Well, I guess we'll get into it. Okay. You did make an interesting noise while listening to it, so I'd like to see your thoughts.
Yeah, obviously I wasn't expecting it to be heavy from the get-go. I was expecting it to be a bit more of a slow burn like what it is. However, the original, it still has a lot of like band elements to it. Like it's got a drum kit in there. It's got a bass, electric bass guitar in there, around all of like the piano and the orchestral instruments as well. Whereas, this one, it's just gone straight for, that piano and a very, very simple, like electronic, almost like lo-fi kind of style drum kit, which is a little bit odd. Yeah, not very Rondo at all, which...
But I kind of like it, though.
It's nice. It's nice. I think it has lost a little bit of its charm, because like even when we listened to the originals, you mentioned the original had a very big
November Rain.
November Rain sort of thing. It also had a bit of a
I would describe it more as like a feel/vibe.
Yeah, and it also sort of had a bit of a like a every rose has its thorn sort of vibe as well.
That's a song I haven't listened to in a while.
Yeah, so, and I think it has that feel because it does have the electric bass guitar and the acoustic drums in there. Whereas this one takes it in a completely different context when you have the lo-fi sort of drum kit in there.
I wonder if it kind of picks up a bit towards the end.
That's kind of what I'm hoping. I think it will, maybe, yeah, this is just the slow burn to then build to this really big, elegant band section. So that's what I'm hoping for. But yeah, so far it's nice. Yeah, it's got a lot of good things going for it, but definitely not very Rondo. That's for sure.
I was about to jokingly say that I bet you at the very end they're just going to go ape shit.
That would be pretty surprising.
But I guess with that little snide remark out of the way, let's get back to it. 'And there we go. I would say it's like towards the end, I was thinking like, oh, this would be like really good to be like what playing during like a credits at the end of like a movie or something.
Yeah, it definitely would be. It definitely would be.
Although I think you could also say that for the original as well.
Yeah,
I think actually a lot of the times it was like used as we look through there was like, yeah, used in like the end credits and stuff.
Yes. Yeah, that was mentioned. I would say overall a very nice song. It's definitely not very Rondo. Even when it kicks in, it's...
I think like it's kind of Rondo in, well, not the typical sense.
Definitely, yeah. You know, like when the drums and the bass kick in, you know, there's a lot of big similarities there for sure. But yeah, I was quite surprised that there wasn't any guitar. Like I could definitely see that not having like big guitar chords being played, but I think the solo probably should have been guitar, which then led me to the thought, well, you know, you had a band like Van Halen in the 80s who used to get a lot of criticism regarding Eddie Van Halen's playing and how, like, you know, he'll just use all this distortion to sort of cover up his mistakes and whatnot. And then what I believe is there's the song Jump, which was him sort of like rebelling against being a guitar player and writing that whole song and writing the solo to be on the synthesizer so that it could be like, look, you know, I'm not just a good guitarist, I'm a good musician in general and songwriter in general. So maybe it's that sort of take of like, let's try and do a song with no guitar to kind of make a point that we can. But yeah, that's maybe offering the olive branch. Whereas, yeah, I think it would have been a little bit more interesting to have even like it was quite a long solo as well. You could have had half of it being a synth solo and then the other half being a guitar solo.
That would have been an interesting thing to do.
Yeah, I think that would have been cool. But
Although one thing was like, it's definitely quite an easy song to listen to because it was like, I was kind of listening to it and I was like, kind of almost getting a little too relaxed and almost dozing off.
yes, I would agree. It is a very easy song to listen to for sure. And yeah, it would be nice just to have sort of in the background, even just the instrumental version as well, to have just sort of in the background when you're maybe reading a book or something. I just need some time out.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Although the question is, I guess I think you probably would prefer, well, Killing Me over this.
Yes.
Sweet, I'm kind of mixed because I enjoy both. I think I would probably go with this one over Killing Me.
Okay. Yeah. They're definitely, both of them are very strong covers. There's nothing inherently bad about either of them. I also think they're, like, this one is definitely more interesting because of how much of a change in genre it is, but it didn't really do anything too crazy either. It was just, yeah, a nice cover of an already nice song. Yeah, I don't know. I think I probably would go Killing Me over this one, but at the same time, they're both very different moods as well, so it kind of depends.
Well, I guess with that out of the way, and I guess we got our thoughts pretty well summed up. Not our sums pretty well summed up. I guess we'll move on to Lyrical Lily, which this first one I am really looking forward to because if I can, like, as soon as I first heard the original, I was like, oh yeah, this is really good. And I was like, and even for a second, I was like, wait, I thought this was an original Lyrical Lily song.
Oh, right.
It was that kind of good. And as I said, was this just screams Lyrical Lily.
It definitely does. It definitely does. Very similar to Killing Me for Rondo, sort of screams Rondo. This one definitely screams Lyrical Lily for sure. Do you want to take a stab at the name?
Yes, but also no.
Nyandaa, Wandaa, Deizu, which...
Actually, I think you nailed it.
Which you actually can't find specifically on Spotify, but you can find Nyandaa, Wandaa, Days.
Like
English.
the Englishization of it.
Yeah, yeah, which is interesting.
Although I guess if you were to find... Well, I guess you'd have to use the kanji to find it, though.
Which we actually had to do for the following Lyrical Lily song. Cover, I should say.
Okay, I don't think I ever heard of that anime before.
With a dog and a cat, every day is fun.
God. No, from my experience, cats don't tend to get along too well with dogs.
I guess, yeah, it depends.
Oh, it's funny seeing the clips of, like, this big dog being scared of a little cat.
Yes, yeah. I've seen those as well. I guess it depends what you count as fun as well. Maybe
like them wrecking the place.
Yeah, the chaos. Some people can find that fun, but I definitely wouldn't. But yeah, originally performed by Ohashi Ayaka for the opening theme song of said anime.
Well, I guess with all that out of the way, let's get into the song. I said, very Lyrical Lily.
Yeah, so far this one is really, really good. I think it honors the original very well, but then the verse section, I think it almost tops the original because it sort of gives it a bit more character. Like the original is very pop forward with a bit of a disco influence, where this one, it does that as well, but the verse section, it sort of I liked there was like a call and response thing between the bass synth, and there was sort of like a little plucky sort of like a strings synth version of a strings sort of sound, which was really cool. I like that. And then when the drums come back in and then build everything up to a big fun chorus, so good so far.
Yeah, I guess I got not really much to say because I already kind of did say my piece before we got started.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I guess I could say it's good.
It's good. Let's see if it continues to be good.
And there we go.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah, it's an absolute, I'd describe it as an absolute banger.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
And actually, I'm just going to say this, it's definitely probably within the top 3 of my Lyrical Lily songs.
Yeah, I think I'd agree. This is really good overall.
Which actually is kind of surprising because if I remember correctly, basically the first single takes up, I think, also would be entirely in the top 3.
Right. Yeah.
Which is not surprising considering, well, I'm not sure if I've talked about it on video, but I used to not actually be a super big fan of Lyrical Lily back in the day, although the only single I did enjoy from them being the first.
Right.
So it's no surprise that it takes the top spot, basically.
That
not only in terms of singles, but, well, the songs in them being, well, basically high ranked amongst other Lyrical Lily songs.
Yeah.
Although it'd be fun to go back and re-evaluate.
But yeah,
this is, definitely solid. And
for sure.
even though the original's good, this is just blows it out the water, in my opinion.
I'd also agree, yeah. This does such a great job of honoring the original, but then
doing its own thing.
Yeah, doing its own thing, and it really, sort of levels up the original as well. So well, it's really fun, and even when there's sort of like repeating sections, there's little things that are slightly different, slightly sort of like new elements added in. Like the second verse was really cool. It did some awesome stuff. Even the way that it sort of like it had that solo section and then went to a nice soft bridge and then built everything back up into that last final chorus. Yeah, really, really good. Great song. And the fact that it is also, over 4 minutes.
It doesn't really feel like it overstays its welcome.
No, and I think that's probably because, there is these slight changes. It doesn't feel so repetitive, even though, there really is only sort of 4 sections. But yes, just slightly different versions of them. Really cool. Really cool. All right. And I guess lucky last.
So that's fun. Bludgeoning Angel God. Now I'm... What? Okay, why is my tongue deciding to twist itself now? Dokuro-Chan, yeah. Which, again, this one's also another good one.
Mm-hmm.
Although, actually, now I say that, I think this one would kind of tie for third, I think.
Okay. I guess we'll see. We'll get a definitive answer once we've listened through it. But yeah, originally sung by Chibasiko and used as the opening theme for the anime with the same name.
And again, it was added into Groovy Mix as part of a collaboration among the game Dengeki and NBC Universal Entertainment Japan. So, yay.
Cool.
Because, this one was also another one that's like, it screams Lyrical Lily.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think a lot of the Lyrical Lily covers, or a lot of the good ones, do that.
They definitely do. This one, though, it does have a few little bits here and there. Like I remember in the original, there's like a bridge section where it sort of brings in a bit of a heavy guitar, which I think we've gotten guitar in Lyrical Lily in the past, but
not like a heavy guitar.
Yeah, not a heavy guitar. So I'm interested to see how that turns out.
Although there would be one cover that would be quite interesting for them in that case. I can't remember the name of it, but I would recognize it when I hear it.
Right.
But it's like I think when I first listened to it, it's like, wait, this is a Lyrical Lily song?
Oh, okay.
Because it felt like it was more Rondo.
Right.
Interesting. Like, although I guess kind of, if I'm remembering correctly, it's sort of kind of like a half breed of like Rondo and Lyrical Lily. So it'd be interesting to be like, oh, let's get a second cover version, which we bring Rondo in on as well. But I'm not sure if Rondo's works would have worked with it. But it'd be jarring to go from listening to, let's say, Rondo's lead vocalist to, Lyrical Lily's.
Yeah, that could be quite the tough task to get those, because they're very different vocal styles. Even though, they're both female vocals, definitely different. Anyway.
Well, I guess let's get on to it.
It's such a fun song, even the original. But yeah, this one, it really...
they make it work.
Yeah, they really do. It's very...
Well, I guess I should clarify what I mean by that. I mean, they literally make it their own song, basically.
I think so too, yeah. Because, like the original, it is almost the perfect song to cover, because it is quite limited in its sort of musical composition, and I think it really draws on the vocal. Where this one, yeah, they've been able to still keep the vocal kind of like the main focus. I think because of the lyrics and how fun it sort of is, but also yeah, the music, everything around it is able to match that same sort of funness and silliness really, really well. But yeah, give it some good character as well, which is nice.
Oh yeah, definitely. I guess with that out of the way, let's continue. 'Your reaction was priceless.
That was something else. That was really, really cool.
Oh yeah, I kind of had to keep this a bit of a secret.
Yeah, that was awesome. Like, there's already such a big sort of like video game influence, I think, with the synthesizers that they're using. But yeah, that whole section there was very, very video gamey, which was really cool. And I liked how like even the vocals all chopped up and glitchy. Yeah, that was something else. Really fun. I'm guessing that's probably that sort of like very guitar heavy driven bridge. So instead of doing guitar stuff, they just did that, which was really cool. But I guess there is still sort of a third left of the song, so we might still get something. I guess
maybe not. I'm not going to say anything more.
All right.
What a way to send it off.
Yeah.
It was towards the end, I was kind of doing maybe.
Yeah.
Although I couldn't help myself but follow along in the chorus and that.
Yeah. Yeah. Even the original, the melody and the rhythm of it for the chorus section is such an earworm. And it definitely doesn't lose that touch, the cover. It's really, really cool. Yeah, that was something else.
Oh yeah, definitely. You can see why these two I'd rank quite highly.
Oh yeah. Both, I think, in Lyrical Lily's sort of catalog, but even for the Volume 8 cover track album, this is both of them. Yeah, I think should be a bit higher on the the plays count, but that's just me.
Although if I was to go and rate each of the units' performance on the cover track, it's actually probably would be the first time I would actually rank Lyrical Lily quite highly.
Yeah.
Considering I can't remember what I ranked them for the other singles, except for the ones we covered. But I remember when we covered them, I didn't tend to. Well, I tended to put them about mid of the pack, which was actually quite a bit better than what I used to. I usually had them at the very bottom or near bottom.
Yes. Yeah.
Compared to the other units. But in this case, though, I think this probably would be the highest I would rank them, putting them at second.
Yeah.
Although it'd be very close, just barely being beaten out by Piki Piki, which shouldn't be a surprise.
Yeah. They're definitely up there. Like Lyrical Lily is definitely up there for me in this one as well. I don't know exactly where yet, but the fact that I think they're one of the only ones that really delivered two very good covers. A lot of the other units, they would have one really good one and then one sort of
mid.
Yeah, where they did such a good job of delivering two very good covers.
Although I think Black Shout alone would be enough for me to give Piki Piki the number one spot.
Fair enough.
With Storyteller being pretty good, but again, I think the two Lyrical Lily covers do eclipse Storyteller. So I think it's just really just Black Shout doing the heavy lifting for me to give Piki Piki the number one spot.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Although actually at the bottom I would put Abyssmere.
Interesting.
I just feel like yes, when they covered the Asobi song, which I think was a Monster or something. I'm trying to remember the name. It doesn't help that it doesn't have the name in English there to quickly reference.
Yeah.
Which they did a really good job on that, but I think for me, they're ranking really right on Red Fraction, which in my opinion fell quite a bit short of the original.
Yeah.
But I think that's more, again, I think a bit of my bias, but also nostalgia for the original.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I was going to say, Unicorn just instant last place, but no.
That's kind of what I was expecting, but yeah, I think,
But I'm going to put them at fifth.
Yeah, that's fair.
Had they not done, if they'd done a better job with the Red Fraction cover, I think Unicorn would be at the bottom.
Right, I see. Yeah.
But it's just because of, I want to say drop the ball, but they didn't do that bad of a job with Red Fraction, but they just didn't do a good enough job, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It's another one of those ones where it's a very iconic track. And as you sort of said, you have your biases towards it. So it was always going to be a bit of a tough one.
And it doesn't help that also Unicorn had done some pretty good songs.
Yes. Yeah.
But there's just one thing that weighs it down, in my opinion.
Yes.
The one that shall not be named. Although I'm just trying to think the rest of the ordering would be. I think coming in third would be Photon Maiden, followed by, I'm not sure if Mermaido would beat out. Actually, I would say Mermaido just beats out Rondo.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And I guess that leaves me to try and figure out where Happier Roundo would go. I think they would definitely be somewhere in the middle of the pack.
Yeah.
I think I would say they'd just edge out Mermaido. So they would come in between Mermaido and Photon Maiden.
Okay.
I guess that would be my rankings. And I think yours would look something similar.
Mine's, definitely very similar. To be honest, I can't really remember the Happy Around tracks. Like they didn't really stand out too much to me. Whereas, definitely Black Shout, of course. 99 Illusion was interesting. And so it's kind of tough. Definitely I think Abyssmere at the bottom. Unicorn was kind of interesting as well. To be honest, I think, I would have to go Abyssmere, Happy Around, I think, then Unicorn, and then basically everything else is the same as you. Yeah. Just because I can't really remember the Happy Around tracks. They didn't really stand out too much. So that's gonna be me, I think.
Hello, this is Post-Production Briggsy here. I do not know what I was on at the time when I came up with my rankings, but whatever it is, I sure would love some more of it. But one thing I do have to change is, I don't know why I ranked Happier Roundo so highly and then gave Rondo such a low ranking, but kind of reassessing it while doing the rankings and that, I think they're going to have to swap around. So, well, I guess to update you, it would be Rondo in 4th with Happy Rondo coming in at 6th, which I guess doesn't really change much overall, but I felt like it was a bit more fitting just kind of going back through it real quick, which I guess with that out of the way, I guess back to what's left of the video, I guess. I guess with that sorted, I was going to wrap it up, but I was thinking, you know what? Even though I hate doing this, being like saying, okay, this is coming up next, but since I really want to cover the old singles and that, I was thinking next up will be Lyrical Lily's first single, which is I Shall Be Cat, which is
yes,
going to be fun.
Yeah, I think I'd like to do that as well, just because with the Volume 8 cover tracks being so good, I think with their most recent single release being quite good as well, it would be interesting to, sort of dive back to see, where they started and how they got to where they are now. Because I guess even within the lore of the show as well, you know, they've gone through some changes, and
I will say which unit hasn't.
Well, yes, that's very true. Oh, I guess they all definitely have, but I think Lyrical Lily is maybe the most surprising.
So I guess look forward to that, and I guess after that probably maybe some of the other first singles, so we can knock them out of the park, which will probably also include a re-upload of the Peaky Peaky first single.
Anyway, well, I guess that does us for this one. Part 4 of the
Volume 8 cover track.
Yeah. And
not the 8th cover track, which
no.
just has a weird ring to it.
Yeah.
It's too formal.
Fair enough. I guess let us know your thoughts on the 2 cover tracks from Rondo and the 2 from Lyrical Lily.
And your thoughts as well of the cover track as a whole, and which of the units really stood out for you.
Yeah. And who took top place as well.
Yeah, I'd like to see.
Yeah. And I would like to see if it is in line with the play count as well. Because, the play count is kind of a bit all over the place.
Yeah, I know. And there's some here that's like, really? Has it got that many plays?
Interesting. Yeah, particularly on the Unicorn and Abyssmere sort of side of things.
Well, it makes sense considering that there's not really much music out there for Unicorn or Abyssmere. So, of course, someone who's a fan of that unit listening and that would not have a large rotation of songs to go through. So,
yeah, very true.
Where with the other, the main units and that, you got a lot more to go through.
That's it. So, let us know your rankings and leave a like, subscribe to the channel, share us around because that really helps. And I guess we'll see you in the next one.
See yous.